It is once again time. We haven't made a video in like a month. MTO is kind of going through a little bit of a rough patch right now. We kind of needs our support, so he can't really record right now. He can't really do videos. And I personally just haven't really been watching the shows, so I haven't been able to do reviews. But I forced myself to watch Meat on a TLC, and I didn't really watch Raw, but I watched portions of Raw to be able to kind of talk about it. So I've stumbled across some segments that are considered edgy for this period of time. Even though some of these are actually mildly entertaining, the fact is you can't do this with your superstars after you've already established them as nonsensical, one-dimensional retards. Okay? It's not as easy as this to just get them going. Okay? I find the Enzo and Lana thing entertaining, but that's because Enzo isn't reaching for some out-of-the-box characteristics in an attempt to make this work. He's still the same guy implementing it into a different kind of storyline. On the other side of the spectrum, the Sheamus and Cesaro barroom brawl was lame. The acting was terrible because of this cornball. We could have won, but I bloody hate you, fella. And then all of a sudden they become friends. If you establish your superstars to be complete trash, you can't have them do cool things and they all of a sudden become cool. And one last thing I wanted to talk about since we're on Raw. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks feminazi storyline we have going on. It's not even so much that they're shoving the feminazi thing down your throat in terms of what their promos are. The problem here is more so the fact that you can see it's so transparent that this is just obviously the views of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon bleeding through the television. Because they are trying so fucking hard. It's so insulting that they're trying so hard to make this seem big time just because they're women. This is the main issue that most people have with feminazis. And the worst part is, like, they're not even trying to do it for the women. They're not trying to empower the women that are watching. They're just doing it to build Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Every other diva is booked like shit. Even on SmackDown, where the divas are booked well, but they're not shoving it down your throat that they're big time. Nikki versus Carmella was supposed to be this. They were going to have a no DQ match, and it would have made sense because it was kind of personal because Carmella tried to end Nikki's career. Okay? Of course, Charlotte and Sasha Banks have to outdo that. They have to have their no DQ match just before the Meat on a TLC pay-per-view. Fans are actually pushing this garbage. They're actually into this shit, even though it's not good. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to go on their YouTube video right now, and I'm going to read the comments, just to show you guys how fucking stupid this is. One of the top-rated comments on here says, "Hate all you want, you can't name a better female heel than Charlotte." Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Hi, Dad. I want to let you know that I hate you now. That's the super heel. That is I can't name a better female heel than that. That is the gold standard of a female heel. Jesus Christ, that's terrible. And it doesn't end there, okay? The next comment. Charlotte is the Triple H of the women's division. Now, I know Triple H gets he has this whole reputation about being this guy that buries people. But for Christ's sake, Triple H had more than one feud in his entire career. And two, it's insulting to Triple H because Triple H was good. Triple H could cut a fucking promo. Triple H didn't have the same stupid tone of an unbelievably retarded, and I can obviously tell you're reading a script voice that Charlotte has. Let me keep going. And this is another comment. And this once again shows just how great Charlotte Flair is. The best female worker this company has ever had. 352 people agree that Charlotte Flair is the greatest female worker that the company has ever had. I can name you literally, like, even on she's not only is she not the best on Raw, Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor are much better female competitors than Charlotte Flair will ever be. It's also stupid that they're saying that Sasha sucks, but Charlotte's good. What about Charlotte is so much better than Sasha? I understand that Sasha's had her struggles, but these people are saying that Charlotte's better on the mic. It's not as bad as Charlotte Flair's fucking promos, as Charlotte Flair's delivery, and as her fucking somber tone throughout most of her fucking promos. Sasha is at least somewhat believable at some points. Charlotte is not. And I'm almost positive that it's because Charlotte's the heel and Sasha's the babyface. If they did a double turn next week, I can guarantee that everyone would love Sasha again and hate Charles again, just like they did after WrestleMania. Now this might be actually worse. There are at least 4 comments on there with at least 300 likes that compliment Charlotte Flair's looks. There's no debate about this. There's some things that you don't get a say in life. There's some things that are just cold, hard facts. Charlotte Flair is ugly, Maggle. There's no debating. Charlotte Flair is disgusting. When she wears that eyeshadow, whatever she wears, she looks like she doesn't have eyeballs. It looks like when you try to stare into her eyes, you're staring into the abyss. She looks like Jeepers Creepers with that shit, and you're telling me that she's hot? The saddest part here, I'm going to read the most intelligent comment of the comment section, and it has 5 likes. I don't know what to say about the stupid Charlotte. She is the poop and loser of the WWE. She made me feel so sad about her father and how she slapped him, and he was crying. That is the smartest comment on this comment section. So you know what? This might actually be more fun. If you guys like this, I might actually do this instead of Raw reviews now. I might just touch on some of the points, but since the show's so garbage, I might just go on the comment section and just laugh at some of the retards at what they're spewing. Alright, meet on a TLC 2016. I feel like this pay-per-view exposed the overexposure of having a pay-per-view every 2 weeks. Now, some of the matches were actually good, but the fact is, either A, we've seen them too many fucking times, or B, I just didn't give a shit. The opening match was the Wyatt Family versus Heath Slater and Rhyno. And you know what? When Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatt Family, he joined the Wyatt Family. He grew the afro beard, he didn't talk, and he made about as much of a mean face as you could expect from Daniel Bryan. Randy Orton is literally the same guy, but he's just wearing a gay hoodie now. And the saddest fact of the night, Bray Wyatt has won his first championship in the WWE after 3.25 years of losing every feud and becoming a smooth-talking jobber that we're supposed to be afraid of. I think Bray Wyatt at this point, he's like a racer in a Honda. He'll roar his car at you to intimidate you, but when it comes time for takeoff, the only thing coming his way is dust. Second match of the night, Nikki Bella versus Carmella. This match was alright. The issue here was the skit with the fire extinguisher was incredibly lame. He literally just extinguished Carmella. Like, this would have made more sense if Nikki had done it to Alexa Bliss or Becky Lynch, because they're actually hot. I also thought the post-match thing was hilarious because Carmella lost the match, and then she goes on to explain in a goofy way that Natalya is the one that attacked Nikki at Survivor Series, and not her. It's almost as if the fact that Carmella reveals that it was Natalya instead of her is supposed to undermine the fact that Nikki just destroyed her. Anyway, and also, like, when Carmella was cutting this promo, Nikki didn't look at all shocked. And she was probably just acting out the entire fan base watching this, since this was like the least shocking sneak attack revelation probably ever. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. This is a perfect caricature of what is wrong with having so many fucking pay-per-views, like I said in the beginning of this review. This feud is actually not utter shit. But the fact that this match has happened so many goddamn times in the past 3 months ruins any sort of interest any fans could have potentially had in it. That, and also the inclusion of Dolph Ziggler into it, pretty much ruins any fan's interest at all, I guess. The Miz wins. We all know this is leading to the incredible "You and me, one last time" promo from Dolph in the very near future. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch. Now, I hate the fucking crowd that was there, because this feud was probably the best feud on the show, and all they could do was poorly and attempt to try and start JBL chants. I'm not upset that Alexa Bliss won here, actually. Even though Becky just won, I think it was more intelligent to try and establish Alexa Bliss in this situation. Now, the stupid thing here is, why not have Eva Marie come back and cost Becky the championship? And also, it also kind of negates that, I'm not sure how true this is, but MTO told me that Becky versus Nikki was kind of the idea that, or the feud that they wanted to go for WrestleMania. This kind of just makes it obvious that either they're going to do a multi-women's match at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship, or they're just going to hot potato the belt. And it's weird. I really don't know what the hell's going to happen with the SmackDown Women's Championship. Dean Ambrose versus AJ. This is the funniest goddamn match I think I may have ever seen. Because about 5 minutes, 10 minutes into this match, I didn't keep track, he ripped his pants and his gaping asshole was sticking out of him the whole time. And it was hilarious. Like, the funniest parts were when they fucking zoomed in on his ass. This was so fucking funny. Me and my friend could not stop laughing. And I'm positive that it was because it was AJ Styles that made it all the more funny. Like, if this had been Baron Corbin, we just would have said that this was gay and just, like, not acknowledged and probably skipped the match. But since it was AJ Styles, it was fucking hilarious. And what's retarded, though, is the fact that nothing was even resolved here. The match had some decent spots, but the ending ruined what should have ended this feud. If anyone was going to interfere, couldn't it have been someone who Ambrose could have actually feuded with leaving the show? At what point does making a jobber the focal point of your main event feud on what is now being touted as, by most of the internet, as the new A show, at what point does that become retarded? SmackDown is really starting to regress for not only that fact, but also the fact that even though most things are booked well, you have no real sense of direction for anybody anymore. The only one that looks like they have a bright future on SmackDown right now, aside from Alexa Bliss, is probably James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth is booked as the most important piece of the SmackDown puzzle. And I understand, okay, SmackDown might have gotten the shorter end of the stick in terms of roster depth when it came to the draft, but that doesn't mean you can push anybody that you got out of the fucking scraps. Just because you signed a free agent doesn't mean that you have to put him in right away. It sucks! It's stupid! Then they have to stop doing this whole pay-per-view every 2 weeks thing, because it's fucking retarded, it's overexposing, and it's making the shows look even worse than what they already are, which are already incredibly bad. They're already painfully bad, and you're making them worse.